Hello everyone, this is Doc from the Wealth Boardroom. Welcome to the channel. Today we're pulling back the curtain on a topic that often sparks heated debates, yet its significance in wealth building and protection cannot be overstated. We're talking about prenuptial and postnuptial agreements. Now, these aren't just legal papers that couples sign before or after tying the knot. They're strategic tools that can play a pivotal role in safeguarding generational wealth. Whether you're standing at the altar or have been sharing a surname for years, understanding these agreements and their potential impact on your financial future is imperative. Over the next few minutes, we'll be exploring what these agreements are, what should be included in them, how to make them ironclad, and most importantly, their role in building and protecting generational wealth. So buckle up and stay tuned as we delve deeper into these agreements and their role in wealth, generation, and protection. First off, let's understand what a prenuptial agreement is. A prenuptial agreement, commonly known as a prenup, is essentially a legal contract entered into by a couple before they tie the knot. Its primary purpose is to establish the property and financial rights of each spouse in the event of a divorce. Think of it as a financial business plan for your marriage. It might not sound particularly romantic, but it's a wise and realistic step to take. After all, love is beautiful, but it's also important to safeguard your financial security. So, what should be in a prenuptial agreement? It typically includes provisions for the division of property and spousal support in the event of divorce, separation, or death. It can cover everything from your house, cars, and bank accounts to your retirement funds and even your pet. One crucial thing to remember is that a prenup must be fair. Both parties must fully disclose their assets and liabilities. If a court finds that the agreement is unjust, it can nullify the prenup. Now, how can you make your prenup ironclad? First, hire a good lawyer. A legal professional can help you understand your rights and draft a solid agreement. Second, make sure it's in writing and signed by both parties. Oral agreements are not enforceable. Third, each party should have their own attorney to avoid any conflict of interest. And lastly, don't rush it. Give yourselves plenty of time to review and understand the agreement before signing. A prenuptial agreement is not just for the rich and famous. It's for anyone who wants to protect their assets and financial future. It's a tool to avoid potential disputes and ensure that any property or wealth accumulated before the marriage remains with the original owner. This can be particularly important if you're planning to build generational wealth. In conclusion, a prenuptial agreement is not a prediction of doom, but rather a financial safety net. It's about planning and preparing for all possible future scenarios together as a couple. An ironclad prenuptial agreement is a key tool to secure your financial future. Now let's explore how a prenuptial agreement can help build and protect generational wealth. Prenuptial agreements, often abbreviated as prenups, are not just legal documents for the rich and famous. They are strategic tools for wealth management, particularly when it comes to building and safeguarding generational wealth. Let's dive into how. Imagine you're a business owner or a property owner. You've worked hard to establish your assets, and naturally you'd want to ensure that these assets stay within your family, cascading down the generations. This is where a prenuptial agreement steps in. It allows you to designate your business or property as separate property, ensuring it remains with you in the event of a divorce. Think of this as a protective shield around your wealth, keeping it safe from any potential marital disputes. This is not about mistrust, but rather about prudent financial planning, setting clear expectations, and avoiding messy legal battles. Now, Consider a scenario where you come into a marriage with significant debt. A prenuptial agreement can protect your partner from being liable for this debt in case of divorce. This again safeguards your family's wealth from potential erosion. Moreover, a prenuptial agreement can also establish the financial rights and responsibilities of each party during the marriage. This can be especially valuable when one partner is a high earner, or when there's a significant wealth disparity between the partners. But remember, for a prenuptial agreement to be ironclad, it must be fair, transparent, and entered into voluntarily by both parties. It's also recommended to have independent legal representation to ensure that both parties' interests are protected. In essence, a prenuptial agreement is not just a protective measure, it's a proactive strategy for wealth accumulation and preservation. It's about ensuring your hard-earned wealth continues to serve you and your loved ones today and for generations to come. As you can see, a prenuptial agreement is a strategic wealth management tool. Moving on, let's talk about postnuptial agreements. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly is a postnuptial agreement? Well, much like a prenuptial agreement, which is made before marriage, a postnuptial agreement is a legal contract made between spouses after they are already married or in a civil partnership. This agreement is all about detailing how assets would be divided in the event of a divorce or dissolution of the partnership. But why is a postnuptial agreement important? Well, life happens. Circumstances change. Maybe one of you comes into an inheritance or starts a business. Maybe you didn't have a prenuptial agreement, but now realize the importance of having a financial plan in place. A postnuptial agreement provides clarity and can reduce conflict because it establishes what each partner is entitled to should the relationship end. So, what should be included in a postnuptial agreement? First and foremost, it should include a comprehensive list of all individually and jointly owned assets and debts. This could be everything from properties, investments, and retirement funds to credit card debts and student loans. Secondly, it should clearly stipulate how these assets and debts would be divided in the event of a divorce or dissolution. This can be based on the income of each partner, the length of the marriage, the needs of any children, and other relevant factors. Thirdly, it should outline any spousal support or alimony arrangements. This can be particularly important if one partner has given up their career to take care of the family. Lastly, it's crucial to include a clause stating that the agreement is made voluntarily and without coercion. Both partners should have independent legal advice to ensure the agreement is fair and enforceable. Remember, just like a prenuptial agreement, a postnuptial agreement must be in writing, signed, and notarized to be legally binding. It's always advisable to seek legal counsel when drafting such an agreement to ensure it stands up in court. A postnuptial agreement, much like a prenuptial agreement, plays a vital role in protecting your assets. It helps to provide a financial safety net, giving both partners peace of mind and clarity about their financial future. Now let's dive into how a postnuptial agreement can contribute to building and protecting generational wealth. Much like a prenuptial agreement, a postnuptial agreement is a legal contract that helps couples manage their assets and liabilities in the event of a separation. However, the difference lies in the timing. A postnuptial agreement is signed after the wedding, sometimes years into the marriage. This agreement is particularly useful for couples who've seen a significant change in their financial circumstances after getting married. So, how do postnuptial agreements factor into wealth building? Well, imagine you've started a business after getting married, and it's grown beyond your wildest dreams. A postnuptial agreement can ensure that this business, your brainchild, remains in your control even if your marital status changes. Moreover, postnuptial agreements can also be instrumental in protecting generational wealth. Let's say you've received a substantial inheritance after walking down the aisle. A postnuptial agreement can ensure that this inherited wealth remains with you, safeguarding the financial legacy your family has built over generations. Now, you might be wondering, how can I make my postnuptial agreement ironclad? It all boils down to transparency and fairness. Full financial disclosure is paramount. Each party needs to fully understand the financial implications of the agreement. It's also essential to ensure that the agreement is not heavily skewed in favor of one party. A lopsided agreement can be challenged in court and potentially deemed invalid. But remember, a postnuptial agreement isn't just a tool for wealth protection. It can also be a means of wealth creation. For instance, a postnuptial agreement can outline how a couple plans to invest their shared assets, setting the stage for long-term financial growth. To sum it up, postnuptial agreements are not just for when things go wrong. They're strategic tools for managing wealth, protecting assets, and securing your financial future. Clearly, both prenuptial and postnuptial agreements are crucial in securing your financial legacy. To wrap up, both prenuptial and postnuptial agreements play a crucial role in building and protecting generational wealth. These legal documents, though often overlooked, serve as powerful tools to ensure your assets are safeguarded and your financial goals are met. We've explored the importance of understanding these agreements, their key components, and how to make them ironclad. Remember, a well-structured prenuptial or postnuptial agreement can fortify your wealth, setting a solid foundation for generational prosperity. In the grand scheme of wealth management, these agreements are not just about protecting what's yours, but also about crafting a legacy that can thrive long after you're gone. They are essential components of a strategic wealth-building plan that can help you navigate the complexities of financial planning and asset protection. So, whether you're planning to tie the knot or you're already married, consider these agreements as your allies in your journey to create and protect your generational wealth. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Why the Wealth Boardroom, for more insightful wealth management tips and strategies.